Well, I mean, I'd never say never when it comes to Dexter. Even if you're dead, you can still appear in his interior landscape.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Variety Studio here at Comic-Con. Thank you for being here. How many Comic-Cons is it for all of you? I think pretty much all of you have been here before.
This is my second one.
Only second?
Yeah, I came for Defenders a few years ago, and that was the only time.
And that's
Eighth.
Okay.
This is my eighth.
Yeah, more than a handful, less than
7
two
or 8,
hands.
maybe.
4 or 5.
okay.
This is the first one.
Your first one.
Oh, good.
Learned a lot.
So in the premiere of this season, you brought so many faces back from the previous shows. A lot of people who've been killed or otherwise passed away. Was there anyone you wanted to get back that you couldn't get that you were really hoping to?
No. I mean, I certainly would be open to anybody emerging, but no, I mean, I think we got a lot of really fundamental heavy hitters to launch it.
James, how did it feel to come back as Harry again and be able to reunite with Michael?
How does it feel?
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. That's like, I could go through the whole alphabet. Awesome, beautiful, courageous. It's an amazing experience to come back and play an iconic role that I originated almost 20 years ago. That it's still alive. That it's still really, really popular. And I get to work with this guy again and that guy and these new guys. I got goosebumps.
Well, we have 3 generations now of Morgans sitting here in front of us. I'm wondering if there's going to be an opportunity to see them together at any point.
That'd be pretty cool.
All 3 of us?
Yeah.
I think that happens, at least on camera. I don't know if Harrison is aware that Harry's there in my head.
We
and
do
in
need
the
that.
room.
The-
But
Yeah.
dream sequence.
David Zayas, how would you describe, first of all, how has it been for you to be back?
Amazing. I mean, it's like when we first started, I wasn't sure because it's been years before since we've done it. But the first day I was like, okay, we're back in. It's pretty special to create a character for such a long period of time. You could really dig deep, and it was wonderful to be on set with you.
And how would you describe Angel's, how he sees Harrison? Like, you know, he's clearly got his sights on him. How do you think he's approaching it?
You know, I think there's so many things I can say about that. He's protective. He's also curious. You know, his sister babysat him when he was a baby, so I remember him when he was a baby. And so to have him involved or his name come up is really interesting for me to explore and see where he's at.
In the most recent episode that went up today, apologies for the spoiler, Harrison learns that his father's alive. What does that mean for him moving forward?
I mean, a lot of things. I mean, I think first and foremost that, you know, regardless of how conflicted he is about, you know, his father not being dead and just the feelings that are still there, it means he's no longer alone. You know, because his father was really the one person that truly understood him. And I think that was something that he had to say goodbye to when he pulled the trigger. And so to have Dexter show back up just opens a lot of doors because Harrison's holding a lot and has had no one to, you know, talk about it with.
Michael, does the fact that his son shot him affect how Dexter sees his son as they move forward?
No. I mean, it had an effect. I don't know if it had a negative effect. I think Dexter, if he's being honest, in as much as he can be about all this, he backed Harrison into the corner that he found him in, and he inspired him to pull that trigger as much as Harrison did it himself. They shot him together, and And I think he's ready to take responsibility for that and to maybe absolve Harrison of some of the responsibility.
In this week's episode, also, Dexter learns, sort of for the first time, is introduced to this society of serial killers, two of whom are sitting right behind you.
Yeah.
What does it mean for Dexter to sort of have people that he can talk to and relate to that aren't his progeny?
I think it does a sort of heightened version of what Dexter, at its best, often does. It creates a situation where there are these seemingly oppositional things going on, and both are very much true at once. He's in a situation where he is with like-minded people with whom he can connect in a substantive way, in ways that he can't with other people. He's also confronted with a buffet of worthy victims. So he simultaneously wants to, connect and kill these people. Connect with and kill these people at once. And that's a part of the tension that makes it pretty interesting.
Krysten, how did you approach playing Mia?
Oh, this is a very fun character for me. I approached her obviously it's on the page. It's so well written and tailored for me, which is exciting. And I found the moments that were very playful. I kind of always, with all of my characters, figure out what that first thing is that pops out and how she enjoys what she does, and her playfulness and how modern she is kind of where I started.
She obviously has an immediate connection with Dexter, but she doesn't know that she's connecting with Dexter. She thinks she's connecting with Red. How would you say that a relationship evolves?
Well, she's immediately intrigued, interested, distrusting, but wants to know more. And she is very forward with him. She kind of grabs a hold of him, and she's not going to let go until she's done playing.
Got it. I mean, she invites him into her home pretty quickly.
Into her home and into her orbit. I think she's a loner otherwise, and she finds something very interesting about him.
David Dastmalchian, what was your reaction when you were asked to play a serial killer in Dexter?
Honestly, the serial killer element, I didn't know the details yet of Gareth, so that wasn't the most enticing thing for me. It was the opportunity at first, when I first got the call, was just, I've been a fan of this gentleman for a very long time. So the thought that I was going to get to go play with him in some capacity, I don't even know if they said you're going to be a serial. I think they said there's a role for you that is apparently Scott and them have been working on. They thought it would be specific for you. I assumed serial killer because I do have a certain thing on my resume that seems to scream this guy can kill people. But that was immediately I was like, oh my God. Then, and a longtime fan of the whole show, but this is my buddy on my left here, we've never gotten to work together before too. And so it just, all these amazing pieces kept coming together. And then I found out, I read and I go, actually I didn't read, someone read for me and goes, you gotta read this right now. Holy crap, you're gonna love what you get to do with this character. And then when I saw that there's some special treats in store for the viewers to Gareth's world. And that was oh, that's really cool.
The one person in the sort of Dexter universe who hasn't come back for this is Jennifer Morgan, and she said she wasn't, but will she? Could she?
Well, I mean, I'd never say never when it comes to Dexter. Even if you're dead, you can still appear in his interior landscape. So anything's possible.
How has the New York setting affected the sort of rhythms of the show? And you were in Miami and then in the wilderness. How has the sort of urban experience of New York changed or affected the sort of way that you approach it?
It's a place where people go to maybe claim themselves, reclaim themselves, redefine themselves. I think all those things are going on for Dexter. He's recommitted maybe more rigidly to his code and finds himself in a place with a lot of literal, harder, more concrete lines. That seems appropriate. It's also a place where it's plausible that Dexter could encounter the kinds of craziness that he comes upon. If he were in Topeka, it would be a little more far-fetched.
You also have some other great co-stars in Uma Thurman and Peter Dinklage. Can you talk a little bit about working with them and what that's been like?
It's amazing. I mean, I've told this story. I think the first day we were all on set for the 4th episode, Krysten and I would just sort of, it's Uma Thurman over there, you know. You have to kind of get rid of that and accept her as the character she's playing. But I mean, they're both total pros, icons, and just brought it, you know. I mean, I Prater, for example, the character that Peter plays is a larger than life, very, very broadly drawn character in less capable hands could come off ridiculous or implausible. I showed up on set and took one look at him in that environment. It was like, yep, I buy all of it. Yeah, I think they both had a really good time and brought a real sense of play to the work. And it was, among other things, really fun just as an actor to have a front row seat and watch them do their thing.
You know, Peter Dinklage's character, he's a venture capitalist who, you know, that's how we sort of meet him. He likes to bring lots of people together. Not to put too fine a point on this, but were you thinking of anyone in particular when you were creating that character?
Sure. No one I'll name, but yeah. I mean, I think there are real life people who maybe inspired the idea of Prater. He maybe has a unique fetish in terms of the kinds of people he brings together, but ultimately, yeah, he's his own fictional man.
Did anyone else get to see the vault in that Dexter gets toured with all of the trophies and stuff?
Oh, sorry.
You did?
Mm-hmm. It was available for viewing.
It was available for viewing
on set.
Oh, Uma and I were both held in there one day shooting a different scene. Like there was a moment, we were just held in the vault waiting, and that was a really, really strange area to like have your cast chair. It's very, the first time I walked through it and checked it, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. This is insane. And the longer I sat there, the more more macabre it felt, and it was just. I started to sort of get a little bit uncomfortable. It's like there's.
Mm-hmm. I love the real and fictional fantasy world of Dexter intersect in that room. You know, there's Wayne Gacy's clown suit and Jeffrey Dahmer's refrigerator, but there are also artifacts from kills that Dexter executed in the fictional world in this same space. I like that they're all kind of swirling around in the same world in that vault.
What is it like to, I'm sure you've been asked this a bajillion times, but I am curious, and for basically all of the people who are playing killers, to get inside the mindset of a person who not just has killed, but it's a primal urge, and it brings a great deal of sort of satisfaction. How is that like for you to sort of step inside of that mindset?
For me, I think there's two realities. The world of Dexter is such a fantastical place to get to play within, because although everything is played straight and you play it for dramatic realism, you're still in a space where I can detach and really separate and go into, okay, how do I make this David? What is that? And I think for Gareth and this character, and when you watch the way he interacts with both Dexter and all the others at Prater's parties, it was like, he's like that internally 9-year-old Holden Caulfield a little bit. That was a really great narrative kind of inspiration for me to then think about building from the outside and presenting as this highly intellectual, almost professor type figure. Quite different than saying when I've played a real serial killer, which I have, like I was Albert DeSalvo in The Boston Strangler, that there's something there that I didn't enjoy, because that was a bringing to life someone who'd actually harmed people in the real world, and you think about the possibility that family of victims could watch this film or watch something. So it's tricky. It's it's weird. It's not always fun, but it is fun, and there's something wrong with me. I'm going to go back to therapy now. Bye. That's my turn.
Jack, how about you? Because you're playing a character who's sort of discovering his inner serial killer still and kind of finding his way through what that means for him.
I mean, it's funny. I mean, I feel like the nature of those like scenes like in this and in New Blood, where I've sort of had that moment, because not all of those scenes have been real. In New Blood, the real sort of kills that you see me do, other than you, are in a dream sequence. So that's sort of neither here nor there. But I mean, they've all been really physical. I mean, because our moment feels less like that was a tearful goodbye. There was a lot. I mean, and the trigger is what initiated that. But in that moment, that felt like less like I'm going to kill my dad, and more like this is the only way out. And so with that accepted, it's all been really physical for me. It's always a lot of really, really intense choreography and fight choreo, and it's just super high octane, and that just, I think, naturally puts you there. Like there have been plenty of scenes, if there's not a fight but it's really, really intense, or let me do some push-ups, but when you have a scene like the fight scene in the hotel bathroom, by the time you get to the moment, you're so charged up because you've been thrown in a bathtub and you just ramp somebody into a wall, and it's channeling that into what's on the page, which is really, really fun. I don't feel like there was a ton of internal work that I needed to do to get there. It was like swing lit, and that was what came out.
And Michael, for you, you've lived with this character now for a while.
Yep.
How has it evolved for you?
I think, he's someone, when we first meet him, who has a very, very clean line between who he presents to the world and who he believes he truly is. That line has all but dissolved at this point, which is interesting and messy. And he's trying to, I think now, sort of build a wall back between the two, but has questions about just how inauthentic his presentation is. Anyway, he remains. I don't know that after all this time, know the character that much better. I think he's that much more mysterious to me, to be honest.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for coming in, and I hope you have a really good Comic-Con.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.